We shall chant from verse number 3. यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्यश्रितान् यस्साक्षात्करणाद् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाछिद्रस्थितमः दीपप्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्दजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्तावृषं वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमः व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। So tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namadam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Namaskar to Shri Dakshinamurti, who is Sakshat Guru, who is enlightened, who sees the entire world in himself, who is like Ishvara, projects this world, sustains the world, again absorbs the world, by whose jnanam only one comes to gain that ability to see, hear and understand in our mind and intellect. One who reveals this knowledge to the Shishya, who surrenders, and he is the one who destroys the Mahamoha Samharine, destroys the Mahamoha, the great delusion created by the power of Maya, and because of which one comprehends oneself as someone else only. Consider oneself as Deha, Prana, Indriya or Buddhi or Shunyam. So teacher is one who destroys this delusion and makes us recognize our own self. So what exactly is this delusion and how it is caused, and how one comes to recognize oneself? What is this great, what you call the Shakti of Maya that is now revealed in the next verse, verse number 6. You repeat. राहुग्रस्त दिवाकरेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत् सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यप्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये together. Rahu-grasta divakarendu sadrusho maya samachadana sanmatra yo bhut sushupta puman pragasvapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhiඥāyate tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Salutations to Shri Dakshinamurti, who is Guru Murti of the is Sakshat Guru, and who Pragas Swapsamiti Prabodha Samaye Yap Pratyabhiඥāyate Rahu Grasta Divakarendra Sadrusho Maya Samachādanāt Sanmatraha. The Guru is Sanmatraha, pure existence. Sanmatraha, but in the state of what you call deep sleep, he becomes totally overpowered by this Maya, that pure self, Puman, Purusha, Puman, Atma. In that state of deep sleep, he remains only as pure existence, totally covered as though by ignorance, by Maya. Maya samachādanāt karanopar samharanataha, and all the senses are withdrawn and one becomes of the nature of the deep sleep. Yo abhut sushuptaha, one becomes, one attains that state of deep sleep. And pragas swapsam iti, and when one prabodha samaye, when one wakes up, one recollects that I slept. Pragas swapsam, before this I slept and now I am awake. Yap pratyabhiඥāyate, in this way one recognizes oneself. So the teacher is one who recognizes that self which goes into that state of sleep, and in that state of sleep it is overpowered by the tamogun, the Maya, and all the senses are withdrawn. But when we wake up, we recollect, we remember that I had slept. So this is a very interesting experience also, and verse also, that we have this three states of experience: Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and Atma is one which remains unchanged in all the three states. In Tattvabodh also we have seen it is the witness of all the three states of experience. So there are certain Buddhistic philosophy which talks about the absence of everything, that nothing is there. But here Vedanta says that even in deep sleep state, when it seems that nothing is there, the self is there, as though overpowered by that tamogun, that Maya, but its presence is there. It is not absence. Atma is not absent in deep sleep state, because when we wake up, we remember that I slept. We can remember only our own experience. What I had experienced, that only I can remember. If I was not there, I will not remember. So there is the presence of the self in that deep sleep state also. It is present all the time. See, in deep sleep state, that is also indicated as one vritti. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Rishi talks about our chitta and says that there are 5 types of vrittis in our chitta. In our chitta, generally we translated mind, we have 5 types of thoughts. When some number is given, immediately we want to note it down also. If suppose I say 100 types of thoughts, then itna kaun likhega? 5 types we can write. We have 5 types of thoughts. Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra and Smrutayah. These are the 5 types. Pramana, thoughts, authentic thoughts. Thoughts of things observed, seen, heard as it is. Authentic thoughts. Pramanik vritti. Suppose a bird is there, thought of a bird is there in my head. If as the object or as the object is, so the thought also is in tune with that object. Pramanik. So authentic thoughts. So they are called praman. Then there is something called viparyaya, non-authentic thought. Like rope is there and we feel there is a snake. So thought which is not in tune with facts. Thoughts which are not in tune with facts, those also keep coming in our mind. About relatives, about friends, about ideas, about concepts, about God, about this, that, so many things which are non-authentic, but they are also there. And there are thoughts which are authentic. Authentic, we mean pratyaksha, anuman and shabda. That which is directly seen through our senses, that which is inferred properly, and that which is come to us through the scriptures or through the words of those people who have experienced it. So that type of authentic thoughts are called pramana vritti. And non-authentic thought, bhranti, all sorts of confusion, which doesn't make any sense, nonsensical thoughts, those are also there in our mind. These two we recognize. Then the third is vikalpa. Vikalpa means imaginary thoughts. Thoughts of things which are not there. See, praman and viparyaya is about things which are there. A rope is there, and when we have the thought that it is a rope, then it is called praman. When we have thought that it is a snake, then it is called viparyaya. Means it is a confusion about a fact, a thing. But vikalpa means imagination. It is not there, that object is not there, but one imagines. So thoughts of imagination, these are also a type of thought in our mind. Then we have nidra. Nidra is also called a vritti. According to Patanjali Maharaj, nidra, our deep sleep state, is also a vritti. It is actually abhava pratyaya alambana vrittir nidra. It is a thought of the absence of everything. In deep sleep state, there is absence of waking and dream, and that creates an impression in the mind. It is the thought of absence. It's like, suppose like all of you are sitting here, I can see all of you. So the thought of all of you present here is there. But suppose the whole place becomes dark, pitch dark, then I don't see anything. So there is I see absence of it. So seeing is still there, but absence of everyone. Similarly, in deep sleep state, there is a thought of absence of objects. They are not actually absent, but they are overpowered by tamogun. Therefore, they seem to be absent. They are not actually absent, but they are everything is covered by tamogun of Maya. Therefore, it seems everything seems to be absent. So abhav. But when that tamogun is lifted, rajogun and sattvagun comes, then again one becomes conscious of all objects. Again, when that tamogun comes, one is unaware of all objects. But that being unaware is also recorded. That is also vritti. So when I wake up, I recollect that vritti. I remember that during this period there was absence of everything. It's like you keep a record player. You come and you want to record the pravachan, and you record it. In between, what you call, there is total silence. We meditate and all, total silence. Then again we talk. So that silence is also recorded. It is not absence of, it is not that there is some break or something. The recording is continuous. But in that period, it is recorded absence of sound. Then again it records the presence of sound. But recording goes on. Similarly, in deep sleep also, recording goes on. Only there is recording of absence of everything. So that is called sleep, nidra. And then there is this vritti of smriti. Smriti means memory. Memories is when the thing which we have experienced in the past, when it comes spontaneously in the present as it is, that is called memory. Anubhuta Vishaya Asampramosha Smritihi. Whatever we have experienced, when it comes as it is in the present moment, that's called memory. And memory constantly happens. It's not that when we consciously try to remember something, that is called recollection. They have, some of them, they have differentiated between memory and recollection. Sometimes we recollect. We consciously try to think, remember something. But otherwise, in our day-to-day life, memory constantly happens, because if the memory doesn't happen, you will not be able to move even one step forward. Constantly we have to, whatever object comes, this, that and all, we remember what we have experienced with those objects and all, and constantly it happens. Therefore, our walking, talking and all our eating and driving and whatever activities we do, it is possible because of this memory. When person gets some disease and all, they lose their memory, then it's quite a problematic thing. Then the person goes out of his home and he doesn't remember where is his home, cannot come back. So it can be a problem. So that is called smriti. Memory. And when we consciously remember something, try to remember, that is slightly differentiated as recollection, but one need not bother about it. That is, the smriti is there. But here the term which is used is pratyabhijna. Pratyabhijna is a very interesting and beautiful term which is used here. It is different from memory. It is recognition. It can be translated in English more true to its meaning as recognition. See, in case of memory, what happens is that we remember something of the past which is not there in the present. Something of the past experience come in the present, but it is not there in the present now. But in case of this recognition, it is, I remember that which was experienced in the past and that which I am experiencing now in the present is same. That is called recognition. Suppose you meet your friend after 20 years. So after seeing that person, you remember not only the past experiences with that person, but you also recognize that person now. That person is present now. Suppose when I remember somebody who is not there, dead people and all. So remember your forefathers. That is called memory. They are not present in front. That is not recognition. Memory is things of the past. It has gone. But when that past is also in the present and you recognize it, then that is called pratyabhijna. This Atma was in the past, was the substratum and the witness of the deep sleep state, and is also present now. So when one recognizes that, that is called pratyabhijna. This is and this pratyabhijna, if one gains, that is the state of enlightenment only. So a realized master has got the pratyabhijna, jnana, that knowledge of the self, that the self which was there in the deep sleep state and now which is there as the witness of this is the same. So it is not exactly memory which we are talking about, but it is the recognition of the self. So pratyabhijna. So Rahu grasta divakarendu sadrusho maya samachhadanat. So in deep sleep state, the sun matraha, the Atma, which has got this Satchit Ananda Swarup, only remains there as pure existence only, and totally as though covered by Maya, empowered, covered by Maya, veiled by Maya. Maya samachhadanat, samyak achhadanat. And in that state what happened? Karanaha upasamharanataha. We withdraw our senses and the mind, everything gets withdrawn in that state. Everything is withdrawn because there is nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to this. So everything as though is withdrawn, and one remains there as pure existence, covered by Maya. When one comes to recognize this self, then one transcends the effect of this Maya. But normally in the state of ignorance, when one goes to sleep, one is totally overpowered by the tamasic aspect of this Maya. So karanaha upasamharanataha yo abhut sushupta puman. So this puman, this purusha, this Atma becomes sushuptaha, goes to as though sleep. Goes to sleep means is covered by this Maya. But it doesn't remain, because this person who goes to sleep, the samskar is there. Potentially the samskars are there. Otherwise we would have gone to sleep and permanently, but it doesn't happen. When we go to sleep, the samskar which are there again forces the person to wake up. So it's like the alarm clock. In the good old days we used to have those alarm clocks, चाबी देनी पड़ती थी, आजकल भी होता है. So you give this before going to sleep. Everyone used to, that was the ritual, like चाबी दे दो उसको. अलार्म की चाबी अलग होती थी और घड़ी की अलग. And then and many people used to give full, like almost breaking, and then keep it on 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever. And you go to sleep. So that the clock appears to be silent, only tuck, 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 tuck is going on, but it appears to be silent, but it is not totally silent. It is potentially noisy. The noise is there, potentially kept at bay. Exactly at 5 o'clock, it will start making that noise. Similarly, when we go to sleep, our vasanas are like chabi. When we go to sleep, they make us wake up again and experience this world again. If our vasanas related to this body is not over, then we wake up in this body. If the vasanas regarding these bodies are over, we wake up in some other body. Some other body means not that you wake up in your brother's or sister's body or something, but it is like death. So we sleep in one body and wake up in another body. That is called rebirth, death and rebirth. Death is like sleep only. Death is like sleeping in one body and not waking up in that again, and waking up in another body, because the samskar is there which makes us wake up, which gives us the appropriate body, which gives us the appropriate condition, situation. So we wake up in another body. If we are lucky, human body, otherwise animal, bird, plant. Suddenly we wake up and find ourselves as buffalo. It's quite possible. Therefore, early morning when you wake up, just check. What you have to check? The head. If there are horns, then it is dangerous. So it is possible that so different birth in different forms are because of the samskar which makes us wake up. So in this body itself, when I go to sleep, I am present there. It is not an absence. So this is the answer to the Shunyavadis who says that everything is absent only, nothing is there. If nothing is there, then who is aware of that nothing? If you know that nothing is there, then you are there who knows nothing. If you say, if that is authentic knowledge, that nothing is there, you are giving that authentic knowledge, yes, then you are there. So, according to those philosophers, in deep sleep nothing is there, but in deep sleep also the presence of the self is there. And when we wake up, we recollect, we remember. So an ignorant person remembers that experience of deep sleep, but a realized master has got the recognition of the self all the time. Whether outwardly there is waking, dream or deep sleep, doesn't matter. The recognition of the self is there. So pragas swapsam iti prabodha samaye. So when wakes up, one recognizes, remembers that I had slept and that same I am present now. If one can deeply contemplate on this, we will be able to understand the changeless nature of our own self. Because nothing remains in deep sleep state, all the waking world just disappears, but that Atma Tattva remains unchanged, undisturbed, and it is there in the same way in the waking state also. But because of all this noise of all the objects, we don't recollect, we don't recognize it properly. It's like, if I have to give example of that movie theater, I like examples of movies. So you are sitting there in the theater movie, not on the television, and the screen is there. So before the movie starts, there is screen. Some people go there, reach 10-15 minutes early only, so that they don't miss the advertisement. So before the advertisement begins, the screen is there. Then the advertisement and all starts. In the good old days, they used to show the व्हाट इज इट, मैं ट्रेलर तो बताते थे और एक ऐसे डॉक्यूमेंट्री देश से उड़ीसा में बाढ़ एंड ऑल, something like that, so that you keep watching. Then the movie begins. So when the movie begins, you forget everything about the screen. Screen is not seen. I don't recognize that screen. Screen is there, but I don't recognize that screen. And when in the interval again the movie stops and everything is illumined, I see the screen. Now one more thing, suddenly the light is to power is to fail and everything is dark. When everything is dark, screen is there. So when everything is dark, when you don't see the screen also, the screen is present. That is called Sushupti Avastha. And when things are bright and you see the screen as it is, that is Turiya Avastha. But when you see the advertisement and movie and all, that is Jagrat and Sushupti Avastha. So in Jagrat and Sushupti, the world is seen and Atma is hidden as though. In Sushupti Avastha, the world disappears, but the self also remains hidden. But in Turiya Avastha, in the Avastha of recognition of the self is recognized as it is. So when the self is recognized as it is without the disturbance of the world, then it is that Nirvikalpa Samadhi Avastha only. But even when the world is disturbing and still one recognizes the self, that is like Sahaja Samadhi only. Things are going on, but still like a realized master, the world is going on, everything goes on, but he recognizes his own self in all avasthas. So pragas swapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhijnayate. One who has recognized that self alone was present even in deep sleep state when it was overpowered by Maya, that same self is now. One who recognizes that, that is the teacher, and that's who is the self. And to that teacher, who is Dakshinamurti, my namaskar. Same idea of the eternal nature of the self is presented now, again very beautifully, in the next verse. बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानम् अहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजताम् यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानम् अहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Says this Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Namaskar to Shri Guru Murti, who is Dakshinamurti. Who is he? Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. He is one who reveals this knowledge to the disciple who is dedicated to him. Bhajatam. Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Again that bhajatam is used here. In the previous verses, one of the words we have seen that one who surrenders to the teacher. Here it is said one who is totally dedicated to the teacher. He reveals this supreme knowledge to the student, because it is something which we have to experience only after it is revealed to us. See, there are, like for example, some object is there right in front of you, and if you don't recognize it, means you don't have any experience of that object or any knowledge of that object, you don't recognize that object, however long I may keep watching it, I will not gain the knowledge of that object. Okay? Suppose a rare flower is there, you don't know what it is, and you can see it. So you keep watching it. After some time somebody asks you, what is that flower? I don't know. Then again continue you watch. You may watch till the cows come home. The knowledge of that flower will not happen unless somebody who knows that, who tells you that is that. Similarly, Atma is there, Atma is not gone. But we don't recognize our own self. And this non-recognition will continue till we meet a teacher who will make us recognize who we are. Otherwise this ignorance will continue. It is like the third law of motion, I think so. That object in rest or object in motion will continue to be in motion till it is acted upon by some external force. I think the third law, no, or first law? Okay, first law. That is the first law. Law of inertia. So this inertia is tamogun. So our ignorance is tamogun. Unless there is by ourselves we cannot come out of it. We have to be blessed by one who is out of it, and that is the teacher. So without the teacher's grace, one by oneself cannot come out of this tamogun. However much we are with ourself only, we have not lost ourself. Our self is with us, but we don't recognize ourselves because of the whole play of this Maya. We don't recognize. Again, to give that example of the screen, that all the time we are watching movie or there is total darkness. The screen is never presented in front of us. So we never know that there is something called screen. Either we are all the time watching some movie or it is totally in darkness. Neither the screen is seen. So Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti Avastha is there. If we have never experienced the Turiya Avastha, we will never know that there is such a thing called Atma. We will feel like the psychologists and all think that everything is the play of the mind only. They don't acknowledge the presence of Atma. So this Atma is our own self, which is revealed to us when we approach a master and surrender. So Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam. So one who worships him, one who dedicates oneself to him, he reveals this Atma. Swa Atmanam prakati karoti, reveals it. How? Mudraya Bhadraya, by the Chin Mudra, auspicious sign. Through its various teaching, for a high, what you call, Uttama Adhikari, the Chin Mudra or silence itself is enough. Otherwise, the teacher reveals the knowledge with Tattvamasi, Mahavakya, or with various ways the teacher reveals the knowledge. So we have seen that Chin Mudra is that Atma is different from the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and it is that Turiya Avastha one has to experience it in its pure form. And what is this Atma? He says, Balyadishu, Jagradadishu, tatha sarvasu avasthasu api vyavruttasu anuvartamanam aham iti antaspurantam sada. This Atma is antaspurantam, it is shining within your own heart. This Atma is shining within this body, within our mind, within our intellect. This Atma is shining. How? Aham, aham, aham iti. As I, spuranam. Not I thought, but I, spuranam, it is called. It is shining. Just as I gave that example of that mother hiding behind a blanket, behind that blanket also her presence is there, which is all the time there. So even though the self is as though covered by this Maya and this whole world which is expression of Maya, so our body, mind, intellect, thoughts, emotions, everything as though covers the self, but still there is an experience which remains constant as aham, aham spuranam. So in the waking state, we are aware of our own presence. And in deep sleep state also, when we wake up, we come to know that I was present there also. So deep sleep state also, that presence of aham was there. So that aham, aham, aham is constantly present in all avasthas. Jagrad adishu, in Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, that aham spuranam is all the time there. See, one is called the I thought, but that I thought is also expression of that I aham spuranam. Spuranam, I don't know what word is good for it in English. Shining, aham spuranam. The presence of the self is felt as I. Need not be in any particular language or something, but as I exist. So that aham spuranam is the most important and interesting experience, and if we hold on to it, if we separate it from all thoughts and all and hold on to it, that will lead us to that state of enlightenment. That aham spuranam is the most important, that I am awareness or I am consciousness. That aham iti antaspurantam sada. Sada means all the time it is shining. It is there present even in deep sleep state. That means what? That it is present even in death. If it is present in deep sleep, that means it is present even in death. Just imagine. If one can experience it, if one can understand it, that it is present in deep sleep state, and if you understand the implication of it, you will not have fear of death. Because it is present. It doesn't matter whether the body is there or not, whether the experience of the world is there or not, that aham spuranam is all the time there. Therefore it is said, balyadishu api, jagradadishu api, tatha sarvasu avasthasu api. Even in all the avasthas, Whatever be our condition of our mind, our intellect, our body, whatever be the condition, our Bal Avastha, in our childhood, I remember, see now, again we go back to that memory and recollection and Pratyabhijna. You remember your childhood. You were tiny little, making big noise. So you remember your childhood. That memory of your childhood is there. But your memory of that childhood experience is there. But you also have the Pratyabhijna, that one that who was in the childhood and who is now is same. You understand? It's a very powerful thing. The one who was in the childhood and one who is now is the same entity. The body has changed, mind has changed, intellect has changed, thoughts have changed, emotions have changed, every cell of the body has changed. Nothing is there common physically. But still you know, the one who was there many, many years ago and one who is now is the same entity. That same entity which remains same even when everything changes is called Atma, is you. And without this same entity, memory is not possible. Even scientists now are trying to understand how memory happens. They are doing a lot of research. Suppose you have, let us say you have one book in which you have written everything. Some people write their diaries and all. Suppose you have a diary in which you have written all these things. I got up early this morning, this I had the breakfast. Some day-to-day things they write. Then I met this person, I gave him 5 rupees. I have to remember to take it back. All sorts of nonsense you have written in that diary. And you have many diaries. And the diary is lost. One diary is lost, second diary is lost. Then you cannot read anything. You cannot read. The diary, something should be present for you to read it. Suppose it is all thing, the papers are become old, what the writing has faded away, everything has gone, the whole thing will go away. There should be something which is lasting. Nowadays also we try to record things and try to keep it safe in hard drive and this drive and that drive and all those things. But if they go bonkers, everything goes. Nothing can be stored. You keep something in the internet just disappears. What can you do? You keep on looking at staring at the computer. इतना बड़ा आर्टिकल मैंने लिखा था गायब हो गया. What can you do? You can't curse the computer also. There must be, suppose you have to have a memory, there should be something which is stable. Otherwise, how you will have the same writing? So, the stable thing on which all these things are happening is that Atma, is you. So, I remember my childhood, I know myself now, and I know it's the same entity. So that is called the Pratyabhijna, that is that Atma which is same. So Balyadishu, in all this avastha, Bala avastha, Kumar avastha, Yuva avastha, Vriddha avastha and all, Balyadishu, then Jagradadishu, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, then Sarvasu api avasthasu, in all other avasthas also, whether happy, unhappy, sad, mad, glad, fainting and death and rebirth and all those things also, that aham spuranam is constantly there. It is not in the form of any language. It is there in animals, birds, plant also. It is not in the form of any language, but we have to use some language. Even animal, Even a dog has got that I consciousness. Therefore, when you try to hit the dog or try to frighten it, runs away. That feeling of I is there. So that I, Vyavrittashu Anuvartamanam, it is constantly manifesting and constantly present. Constantly present. Sada, constantly present as Aham iti, Antaspurantam. It is an inner spark like. It is an inner spark. Constantly presence. Like our that heartbeat and all. So it is constantly it is there, the pulse and tuck, 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 tuck is going on. It's called Spuranam. That also can be called Spuranam. Constantly present. It is there. Nee? Similarly, this I is constantly there. Aham iti antaspurantam sada. That is the Atma. And that Atma is revealed by the teacher. He says that you are. Tattvamasi. You are that. Hold on to that. That is our simple sadhana and most effective. That shift your attention from I thought and try to become aware of this Aham Spuranam, which was same when you were a child and which is now also. Your mind has changed, body has changed, thoughts have changed, emotions have changed, your name may also have changed and personality might have changed, but that Aham remains constant. It doesn't get affected by age. It doesn't get affected by any disease or anything. It remains same. It neither becomes big or small. It is same. When I close my eyes and experience my own self, it is neither becomes big. The body might become big or small, but that sense of I is same. And if I focus my attention on the sense of I, it is the same experience which I had in my childhood also as I. So if I just focus there my attention on that I will not know any difference whether I am a little child or a young boy. It makes no difference. Inside, if you get focused and abide in that I notion, you become free of this body identification. It doesn't matter body is old or young or is whatever it is, in whatever condition. So that I is revealed by the teacher. Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Through this chin mudra, the teacher reveals that self to the disciple. So this is very interesting, very powerful. So if you are ready, we can just sit and meditate on that. And keep all your books, everything aside. And make your mind available for this. 20 minutes, you don't think about anything else now. Don't say that I have to go and I have to catch this bus or whatever. So, just bring your attention in the present moment. Let your attention be in the present moment, here and now. You be here and you be now. When you are here and now, you become free from the effect of this Maya. Here is the effect of space and now the time. Maya kalpita desha kala kalana. This concept of space and time is created by Maya, but in the pure here and pure now, one transcends space and time. Now, in your own language, the first time as a child, you uttered the word I. In your own language. Of course, we must have identified that I with this body, but you must have uttered that I and continued to utter it in your own language. Later on, you might have learned some more languages, but go back to your childhood, your own mother tongue, and utter that in your mind, aham, I, my, whatever your language, and feel your presence. So that I thought makes us aware of our presence. That presence is the Spuranam, which is free from all thoughts. But I thought makes us aware of that presence. So first you use the I thought and then focus your attention on your presence and then drop the I thought also and just be the presence. पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Hari Om.